Failure? No, it's your greatest teacher. The word failure often carries a heavy weight, but what if we reframe it? In this video, discover how temporary setbacks can transform into invaluable lessons that pave the way to monumental success. Failure isn't the end. It's a wise mentor urging you to explore new paths. Every misstep holds a lesson. Why do people repeat mistakes? Often they miss the silent messages failure conveys. Yet those who learn to interpret these cues can uncover opportunities where others see only obstacles. Consider Taylor Swift. Early in her career, critics pointed out her weak vocals. Instead of being discouraged, she took voice lessons to enhance her skills. The result? Grammy Awards and a global fan base. Or take Elon Musk. SpaceX faced 3 failed rocket launches, teetering on the brink of bankruptcy. But by analyzing these failures, they achieved a successful 4th launch, securing a NASA contract and revolutionizing space travel. Then there's Rihanna. After an initial record deal didn't pan out, she didn't give up. She refined her unique style, leading to chart-topping hits and the creation of Fenty, a brand that redefined inclusivity in beauty and fashion. A personal journey of resilience. Imagine a man who faced failures for 30 years, losing jobs, money, and hope 7 times. Each setback felt like the end, but over time he realized that every failure was a guiding hand, steering him toward better paths. First turning point. After business college, he became a stenographer and accountant. His dedication led to promotions and a managerial role in mining. Yet, pride clouded his judgment. When the business collapsed, he lost everything. In hindsight, he learned that humility is crucial and failure can be an eye-opener. Second turning point, venturing into the lumber trade without prior experience, his perseverance earned him promotions and a partnership. Success made him feel invincible, but an unexpected crisis wiped out the business and his savings. This taught him that wealth alone isn't a stable foundation. Third turning point, failure pushed him into law. By day, he sold cars. By night, he studied. His sales experience helped him earn a substantial income, establish a training department, and secure bank funding. He felt he'd found his calling, but life had more lessons in store. Why this matters to you. Every failure offers a chance to reset. Like Rihanna, who turned a failed contract into a springboard for global success, you too can transform setbacks into stepping stones. Your action steps. Reflect on your most recent failure. What did it teach you? Write it down. Share in the comments. Which failure became your greatest teacher? Let's inspire each other. When life hits hard, what will you do? Explosion. When life punches you in the gut, it feels like everything is lost. But what if every failure is actually destiny's way of unlocking a new door? Let's continue the story of a man whose rise and fall prove one powerful truth. Failure is not the end. It's the beginning of something extraordinary. Fourth turning point. He lost his business. The same bank that once gave him loans during good times took everything when debt overwhelmed him. From earning thousands a month, he found himself starting over from zero. At the time, it felt like a disaster, but 20 years later, he realized it was a gift in disguise. Why? That failure forced him to abandon a path chasing empty goals and seek deeper meaning. Just like Keanu Reeves, who faced years of rejection in Hollywood before finding iconic roles that changed cinema. Or Vitali Klitschko, who rethought his entire boxing strategy after losses and became a legend in the ring and a leader outside it. This defeat led him to ask the question, is success really just about money? He landed a comfortable job at a major coal company, thanks to family connections. The pay was sky high, the work easy. He had influential friends, wealthy in-laws, a shiny car, and a life of luxury. It looked like he had found a safe harbor. But something felt off. Life became too easy. He sensed how mental stagnation creeps in when challenges disappear. So he shocked everyone. He walked away from it all. It was his choice. No one forced him. Like Lady Gaga, who left behind comfort to take bold, creative risks that redefined music, he chose to fight. He understood that growth demands effort, and comfort steals your power. Fifth turning point. He moved to Chicago, a city where competition sharpens the soul. He became an advertising manager at a correspondence school with zero prior experience. But his work ethic and drive to exceed expectations paid off. Within a year, he earned $5,200, a massive income at the time. It seemed he was back on top. But self-satisfaction is a sneaky trap. It whispers, "You've made it." Relax. He didn't realize how dangerous that comfort zone was until life threw him yet another curveball. Think of Serena Williams. She lost matches, but each defeat taught her to come back stronger. Or Roman Svezh, the Ukrainian entrepreneur whose first startup flopped. Yet he built an app that conquered Europe. Why this matters to you. Every failure is a chance to realign your path. It teaches you to hear your own voice, not chase illusions. Comfort is a cage. Struggle is your key to freedom. When it feels like you've lost everything, that's your moment to break through. Life breaks your plans and shakes your dreams. But what if each failure is a springboard to greatness? Sixth turning point. He was standing on the edge of massive success. After his candy business collapsed, he started teaching advertising and sales at a Midwest college. It was his zone of genius. The school thrived. Students came from all over the world, both in person and online. He earned thousands. His dream life seemed within reach. But fate had one more test in store. Sixth turning point. But then, war. The war changed everything. The military draft took away his students, and with them vanished $75,000 in income. His school collapsed like a house of cards. He was left with nothing, not a cent. At the time, it felt like the final blow. But sometimes it's the fall that forces you to look up. Think of Oleg Sentsov, the Ukrainian filmmaker imprisoned for his beliefs. Yet he used that time to write scripts and inspire the world with his strength. Or Malala Yousafzai, who could have given up after a near-fatal attack, but instead turned pain into a global fight for education. That loss forced him to rethink everything. Maybe success isn't just money. Maybe it's about doing work that changes lives. Seventh turning point. The war ended. He stood at the window, watching the crowd below celebrating peace. His mind raced with memories, victories, failures, lessons. For 20 years, he had studied in the University of Life, where every blow left a mark. And then, something clicked. He sat down at his typewriter. His fingers began to fly across the keys. He didn't plan, didn't overthink. He just wrote what poured from his soul. That document became the foundation of a publication that reached millions. It opened doors to hearts and minds around the world. It was his breakthrough. Just like Andrew Tate, who turned years of failure into a media empire based on personal experience. Or Valery Zaluzhny, whose belief in his team and strategy turned the tide of war. He finally understood, your true calling is the work you pour your heart into. Why this matters to you. Every setback is a chance to find your purpose. Life hits you so that you can rise stronger. Haven't found your calling yet? Keep searching. When you do, you'll feel it instantly. Your move today. Ask yourself, what kind of work makes your heart race? Take one small step toward it, today. When the war ends, your real battle begins. The world may celebrate victory, but your greatest triumph is finding meaning in your struggles. This man's story ends with a lesson that transformed his life and could change yours. Do more than expected, and life will open the door to greatness. Personal moment. The spark that changed everything. He stood at the window watching the crowd rejoice at the end of war. Behind him, years of struggle. 7 turning points where everything seemed lost, but war taught him one truth. Only what's built on justice and goodness survives. That thought lit a fire in him. He remembered where he started. A bleak November in Virginia, his first job at a coal mine, earning $1 a day. A young man barely affording food, overhearing miners preparing for a strike. And then, one man's voice changed his life. Standing on a crate in an old store, the speaker said, "We can strike, but there's a better way. Go to the owner, offer to work as partners, show up with a smile, sing while you work, do double the job, and he'll want to share the profits." Those words seared into his soul. 1 month later, the miners were earning 20% more. Their bonuses came in red envelopes marked, "Your share for work beyond expectations." That lesson, do more than you're paid for, became his compass for life. Like Vassal Stüss, who wrote poetry from prison. Like Lionel Messi, once rejected for his size. Yet he trained harder than anyone and became a legend. True strength comes from giving your soul to your craft. The philosophy of the golden rule. The hero lived by this principle. In every job one-off from miner to publisher, he gave more than what was expected, and that led him to his dream, the Golden Rule magazine. With no money but full of faith, he wrote a piece that convinced an investor. The magazine became a voice of optimism that reached millions. Look at Jamala, who didn't give up after multiple failures in contests and eventually won Eurovision by pouring her soul into a song. Or Max Polyakov, a Ukrainian entrepreneur who built Firefly Aerospace, giving more than investors expected and proving that building rockets was possible. The climax, the magic ladder to success. During a lecture tour in Dallas, as rain drummed against the windows, he sat in a quiet restaurant. The water sliding down the glass looked like steps. And that's when it hit him. 7 turning points, every failure, every lesson, could be gathered into 15 principles of success. On the back of an envelope, he scribbled them down, from faith in oneself to the golden rule. These principles became his lecture, the magic ladder to success. They changed thousands of lives, like Nelson Mandela, who turned years of imprisonment into the wisdom of a leader, or Olha Karlin, whose Olympic loss became the fuel for new medals. Failure is not the end. It's the staircase to your dream. Doing more than what's expected is the key to opportunity. Your battle for meaning continues, but each step brings you closer to victory. Your step. Do something more than what's expected today. Help a colleague, share an idea, smile at a stranger. What do the failures of great people say? Your journey is just beginning. The lecture ends, but the lessons of failure live on. Every hero, from miner to publisher, from Socrates to Lincoln, proves one truth. Failure is not the finish line. It's an invitation to rise higher. Look at others whose failures became steps toward greatness. Steve Jobs lost Apple, the company he created. He was fired but returned with Pixar and the iPhone, changing the world. Failure taught him to see opportunity where others saw dead ends. Elena Svitolina, Ukrainian tennis star, lost major matches, but each defeat made her stronger. She became Ukraine's #1 because she believed failure was just practice. Walt Disney was told his ideas were hopeless, and Mickey Mouse a failure. Bankruptcy nearly crushed his dream, but he built an empire because he knew failure was a test of belief. Andriy Shevchenko, football legend, missed penalties and faced criticism. But each miss sharpened his focus. He became the top scorer in Champions League history. What unites these people? They didn't let failure define them. As Winston Churchill once said, "Success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm." Every failure is a scar that makes you stronger, a map showing a new path. Final challenge. Recall your greatest failure. Write down what it taught you, and take one step toward your dream right now. Share in the comments. What lesson did failure teach you? Let's inspire the world together. Your story isn't about the fall, it's about the rise. You are not alone. You are part of an army that turns failure into fuel. The wheel of destiny is turning, and your moment of triumph is near. Act today.